On the line with us this morning, Rob Heinrich from Indiana Area School District and Jane Lockard from the United Way of Indiana County. Let me punch them up here. And they should both be on the line with me now. Jane, Rob, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Todd.
It's good to have you both with us here today. And the subject is financial literacy, and or not financial literacy, just literacy. See, not even I can read. And we're talking with Rob and Jane, and that's an interesting combination because, Jane, you're with the United Way of Indiana County, and you're teaming up, with IASD.
We are. We've been talking with them for some time as we move into, what we call the community impact model, where we're looking at what the core needs are in the community and making sure that our funding is directed in a way that over a long period of time really makes a difference.
Absolutely. So, Rob, how's this going to work?
Well, through the United Way's help, we've been able to be responsive to some of the community needs caused by this pandemic, Todd. As you know, we were forced to close for 10 days, and then we had to reinvent our school in a virtual setting. And although we've done an okay job and we're pretty pleased with our results, we just know that the virtual setting is not great for all kids. And we're afraid that what we call the summer slide, that where students kind of regress a little bit over the summer, is going to be much more amplified due to the fact that our kids are not in our schools with our teachers. So the United Way was very gracious and had foresight and worked with us to set up what we're calling the summer catch-up program, where we're going to kind of continue to provide students in our elementary school services over the summer and really target what we're teaching them to their specific needs in literacy first and math if we have the ability once we get there.
Yeah. Now, Jane, for the United Way, obviously, the connection is easy to see, but tell me about the process of deciding that you were going to join up with IASD and make this happen.
Well, our board has been talking for a couple of years about, really taking a look at one key area and kind of trying to dial in a little bit deeper into what could make a difference with the funding. We chose childhood success as our broad category for this first area that we're going to address, which naturally, of course, fits right in with this. And we had been talking with the school district on, some different things that would support the kids, not just, during the school. That's the school to do the academic, but then the whole other social end of it, the social-emotional end of it. And so, with everything that happened with this pandemic, of course, things had to change, and so it kind of got narrowed down to this for the summer. But, what we're really looking at is what are the kinds of things that over time are going to help children, whether it's a school readiness area, readiness for kindergarten, reading levels. What are the kinds of supports that down the pike ultimately build on a child's personal development and future so that by the time they get to graduation, there's maybe a higher graduation rate, or they're more prepared to have kind of the soft skills, perhaps, that are needed to be out in the workforce. Yeah. So it's a whole progression. It's a continuum, and we're really kind of just in the early stages. This program right now is kind of laying some of the foundation for that, and we're looking to continue some conversations with some, a community group that will be joining our committee to really look at childhood needs.
Oh, boy, there are all kinds of possibilities, I know, that are pretty exciting. Hey, Rob, let's talk a little bit about elementary students and reading. And, some kids, once they get the gift, they can't let it go. They just read everything they find. And for other kids, it's not that easy, and it's not an easy adaptation. And it's very, very important for both of those groups, but they have to be approached in different ways, don't they?
Absolutely. Every kid is different, Todd. That's the one thing that we know for sure. They all learn differently. They all, approach their learning differently. So, and we take a pride in the fact that we are flexible in our instruction. We approach literacy through the science of reading view, where we teach the kids very explicitly in phonemic awareness and phonics and word recognition, comprehension, vocabulary expansion, those kinds of things, so that they can, what we call, access the code. When you're looking at words and they make no sense to you, it's hard to gain any kind of comprehension from that. Try reading a an expert level science manual sometime, and you'll be lost very quickly, Yeah. And that's what it looks like to some second graders when they don't have the phonemic awareness and the phonics skills necessary to unlock what is being said there, and they get discouraged and they fall away. So we really gather a lot of data to see where kids are strong, where they need developed, and we are going to attack that. We're going to help those kids, develop those skills very quickly. And through the United Way support and the support of our board of directors, we are very excited that this summer, the summer camp, although it's going to be virtual, is going to be targeted toward those needs, and hopefully will develop some really, really strong readers here.
All right. What are the mechanics of it? How do families get involved?
Well, first and foremost, you can go to our website, iasd.cc, for more information. There will be a registration link there. And this camp will run virtually. Again, it will be online from June 15th to July 24th. It'll be 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, for 2 hours a day, up to 2 hours a day. It'll be flexible for sure. And the teachers are going to provide fun, live interactions with kids focused on those literacy skills. Our board of directors is so excited about what the United Way did. They're actually talking right now about maybe having some matching funds so we can expand the program to even more kids. So stay tuned for that. More information will follow.
Wow, that really does sound exciting. It also takes a pretty good commitment from the faculty who are going to be participating, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Our teachers are great, and they love their kids. No one becomes a teacher to get rich. They become teachers because they love helping people, and especially children, and they are excited about this opportunity too, because they know what the statistics are about the summer slump and the summer slide, and with the COVID-19 situation amplifying that, they're really concerned about what this could be for a couple kids. So they're excited that the United Way has stepped up and provided this opportunity for our children. That's
something we hear from educators a lot, is about that summer slide, and we have heard just a few distant rumblings about how next year when school starts up again, it's going to be even more difficult than usual and probably require a little bit more intermediary work in order to get kids back up to speed and just to be in the position in which they normally would be at the end of a summer.
That's right. I mean, there are serious concerns about that. A 10-day shutdown in some studies has resulted in a 7% drop-off in math and a 5% reduction in literacy scores. And even if they followed the kids all the way to their adulthood, it's been as much as a 5% higher rates of unemployment. So, these foundational skills are so important. And like I said, we're so thankful for, people like Jane and the United Way of Indiana County and our board for they're recognizing this thing and helping us help kids.
Rob Heinrich from the Indiana Area School District with us today. We're talking about literacy, summer literacy program in particular for elementary schools within the school district. Jane Lockard from the United Way with us. Jane, you mentioned a couple of moments ago that you see really this as a first step to what could become something really, really special for the United Way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are some of the follow-up steps that you anticipate that we might be able to do in the future?
Well, we have, actually this afternoon, we have a meeting with one or maybe two, I'm not sure, Rob, if you're on that too, for the school district. When we first did this, we brought in Patricia Brzezinski. She's the Director of Education at United. And then we had the Director of Education from Homer Center School. They were involved in some of our initial conversations on this. And so, what we're doing is we're looking to, identify how do we want to bring some of these folks back together again and decide what are the key things across all of our school districts in the county. Because what we really, really need to make sure we're doing is reaching the entire county. We know these outlying schools outside of just Indiana have, as much of the same need, actually, that Indiana is doing. It's just that this had already happened. It was kind of in the works in a transition of some things prior to the whole COVID. So it just happened this way. But we want to see what all the school districts are saying their needs are. Are their kids coming to school ready for kindergarten? And what does that mean? I'm not an educator. So, I could ask the questions, kind of from a lay citizen that says, what does it mean for the kids to be ready? What do they have to do? And are we consistent with that in the schools? Are you happy with the preparedness for the children? And if not, is that where the United Way can provide some financial supports to some programs prior to the kids reaching kindergarten level? Is it the reading level? Is it the graduation level? Are there other kind of social skills that that these children are not receiving. They're not prepared. We do hear a lot of that from businesses. You hire some of the young people and they don't have the kind of social skills to be, to shake hands, to look in your eyes, to speak. I think while our cell phones are great, they also you can also hide behind those. And so if we take a look at that and see what the schools are seeing, that's how the United Way can partner with them.
It's going to be interesting over the next 5 or 10 years to watch how connectivity increases and expands across Indiana County, and it sure had better from the lessons that we're learning from this year. Yeah. Rob, I know you share that thought as well, that connectivity is such a big issue. It's on one of the two front burners right now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And we're working real hard to make sure that we're doing everything to have our kids back in school, connecting with our teachers in the fall. We sent a survey out to parents to try to gain their insights, and overwhelmingly, they're saying the same thing. Please open up your schools and get our kids back in as quickly and as safely as possible. And we're going to work on that because there is such a huge value to the social interactions with each other and with the teachers that school provides, that this simply can't be replicated in a virtual world. As much as we try. So, absolutely,
it is a wonderful team. The Indiana County United Way and the Indiana Area School District, and who knows how many other school districts in, we hope, the not-too-distant future. And we're really looking forward to some results. Rob, is there a way to quantify results, or are you just hoping for the best?
Quantify results. We're absolutely going to quantify results of this summer plan. We have several different online teaching tools that we use that will gather data for children. Plus, before they left, we did have a recent literacy assessment done. So we're going to know where these kids start. We're going to test them when they get back, and we're going to compare the results of those students to where they started to where they ended, as well as compare the participants against the results of the non-participants. And we should be able to gather a pretty good idea of how effective this program was, and see if it's something we want to continue in the future.
Terrific stuff. Rob Heinrich, Indiana Area School District. Jane Lockard, I know you echo Rob's thoughts that this is the opportunity of a lifetime really here. Because of the situation in which we find ourselves, we can look for closed doors or we can open some up, and this is open, though.
Exactly. I think we have to look at the changes that are happening because of this COVID-19 situation, and we have to look at them as opportunities. And if we look at them as, oh, geez, we're never going to be the same again, that's the glass half empty. We have to look at it and say, what opportunities does this present, and use it to springboard forward and build relationships, perhaps across all the school districts, and see how they can, maybe feed off of each other in terms of some of these. I know United also does a summer camp program, typically on site. I'm sure that they're probably thinking in some way of doing something virtual for it as well. This program just really resounds with me because as a child, I was always that reader, the one that Rob talks about, that, just read. That was me. I would take a flashlight to bed and read under the sheets. That's how much of a reader I was. So this whole program is just like, it's just right up in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, well, it might be a little harder to fit the old laptop underneath there, but kids are going to try.
Yeah.
Jane Lockard, Rob Heinrich, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Todd, for everything you do. Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much for having us.
All right. Bye now.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.